The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives and recovery of sight to the blind, to set at liberty those who are oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. It's not over. And the day of vengeance of our God. That's the part they wanted. One sentence out of all of it. He said, the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of Yahweh, Christ, is on me because He's given me the news of the kingdom to those who don't have it. He sent me to proclaim liberty to those who are in bondage. You don't have to be in prison to be in bondage. You can be in bondage to alcohol. You can be in bondage to lust. You can be in bondage to codependent relationships. You can be in bondage to sugar. Whatever. Drugs, yeah. Football. Did I strike a nerve? And recovery of sight to the blind. What is recovery of sight to the blind? If you can't see the kingdom, you're blind. Doesn't mean whether you can see what's in front of you. It means can you see? Yeah. If you can't see it, you can't get there. You can't set your heart on it. And to set free those who are oppressed. Now they love that. We're oppressed. We got Romans ruling over us. We're oppressed. Good. He's the Messiah? Cool. We'll take it. Yeah. To proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, the favor of Yahweh, that's great. It's going to happen this year. We love it. And then he sat down before he got to the punchline that they were waiting for, which was, and the day of vengeance of our God. He didn't go there. Because that's not what the gospel's about. It's not about revenge. You know, God will take care of His own. God has, God keeps His accounts. But that wasn't what Jesus came to do. He smashed a system. He is the seed. I know we've talked about this a lot. Probably going to keep talking about it a lot. I mean, when God told the snake in the Garden of Eden in the 3rd chapter of Genesis, there is going to be a seed that is going to come through this one, and he is going to crush your head. And the Old Testament, over and over and over again, it's Satan and his followers, his children, doing everything they can to make sure that that seed never comes forward and never crushes his head. And Jesus did a pretty good job of it. They weren't even looking for it. The people of the earth that day, the people of His own nation in that day, they were looking for one thing. In the meantime, He just came walking in. Here I am. Here I am. I'm going to set you free. I'm going to give you eyes to see and ears to hear. And what's it about? It's about the kingdom of God. Because that's what the gospel is. The gospel isn't Jesus on the cross. The gospel isn't the blood of Christ. The gospel isn't all these things we make the gospel to be. Because Jesus did those things perfectly. They're done. He was on the cross. He's not on the cross anymore. He shed His blood. All of that stuff that we make the major thing that we talk about in church on Sunday morning, that's all done. Why don't we talk about the kingdom of God, which is your part, which is your heart being changed, you being cleansed, you being transformed into a new creation, you taking responsibility for the world around you, bringing God into it. One of my biggest prayers all the time is for men. That it will just permeate the hearts of men, to saturate men, to rise up, take responsibility for their lives, take responsibility for their families and their communities, step up in church, because I happen to personally believe, I'm preaching now, this Bible study's over, and rise up and take control of their world by taking responsibility for themselves. Because I think that if the men were in order, the rest of society would fall in order. And I'm not talking about women. I mean everything. If the godly men were in order and in submission to their God and following hard after that, I think this whole world would turn around. Anyway, I stopped doing the Bible study a few minutes ago. But I am preaching here on Sunday night if you want to hear more of my handsome musings. Jumping Japanese Jesus.